You better love me again. You better love me again.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode. As you can tell by the thumbnail, we're getting the bed fitted today. And but before we get started with that, I did do a little bit of work off camera just to try to speed things up a little bit. I've been working off camera just trying to get some of the fabricating work done. But I will show you everything that I've done. The last video, I believe we did the interior, some of the interior. We're still waiting on the seat. I did talk to them. Should have about another week out before they're done with my seat. And then we can get continued on the inside, getting the carpet put in, which it's sitting right there in that box. Said most of the interior's work done. I do got to end up fabricating something for the instrument cluster to sit on the bezel. And let's see here. So I'll show you what I got done. I did end up removing all of the Crown Vic floor that was holding the fuel tank in. I tried test fitting the bed off camera, and it was just all that stuff was just in the way, and I would have to build the floor up even higher. And I don't want a false floor. I don't want the floor, as high as the wheel tubs, because I want to use my truck. So I'd rather just end up with just a tub across in between the wheel wells and still have the rest of the floor as deep as it originally comes, so I can still put stuff back in the back of the truck and not worrying if it's going to fall out or not. So yeah, I want to minimize how much bed floor I lose. So I wanted to gain as much room under the bed as possible, so I took out the old Crown Vic floor that was holding the fuel tank, which means I had to make new ones. So I got on Facebook in a group I'm in and asked for some insight on what the other guys have done, and this is what I ended up with. I ended up following another guy's design. As you can see, there we go, it brightened up for you. It's not even wanting to focus though, is it? Come on. Focus. There we go. But yeah, you can see I got everything's dirty and dusty, but I did this right here. So far what I've done is I welded in this, I think it's a 1 inch by 1 inch square tubing. This is 1.5 by 1 inch. And up here I did the same thing. This is a 1 inch by 1 inch, and this is a 1 inch by 1 inch because I didn't have any angle iron. So I cut 1 inch in half. As you can see right here, I made like an angle iron, like a piece of angle iron, and to hold up against the lip of the tank. And then I welded in a piece of flat plate and tack welded a bolt right here so I can reuse the original straps that held the fuel tank in. So I've got the original straps holding everything in, and it's sitting in the original position. It's just now held in with something different. As you can see, that's all I did. It's just 1 by all the way across there, a 1 by 1 all the way across there. And what I did down here, the front of this right here is notched out to fit the strap inside of the 1.5 by 1 inch. I had to kind of grind down the edges of the strap. It was just a little bit too wide to fit inside. But then I ran a bolt through. These are just temporary bolts because they're a little too long. And then up to here and welded it to there, and it's strapped in just fine. I'm reusing the isolator pads. I did mount this, I guess you can say vertical from where it originally was, but it's just a charcoal canister. I don't know if I'll end up keeping that. A lot of guys delete it, but I don't want any issues with the way the truck runs until I get it on a dyno and can get it tuned and get a lot of the stuff that was left in the computer taken out. So yeah, I've gotten most of that work there done on the fuel tank. Now, I did have to shorten the rear frame rails. They were way too long. I ended up taking, if I remember correctly, I took 11 inches out of the rear frame rails. I took 11 inches out. So, I mean, the rear frame rails were probably about out to here. So, I took them out, and then I kind of welded this up for now, for the actual back part of the bed to hold the bed up. And then on the front half, I've got this. Now, I've had the bed on and off several times trying to get this to the bed to sit just right. Now this bed was beat up. This bed is very rough, but short beds for this model of truck are really hard to find. And when you do find them, they're very expensive if they're in really good shape. I can find long beds, but then I end up having to just cut it down. And I want a true short bed. A lot of guys just cut, 10 inches out of the front of the bed, slap it on there, and they're done. Sort of a mid bed, not really a short bed from the 60s. It does look pretty good. I do like the guys that have done it, but that's just not what I want. I want an actual true short bed. So I went and bought a short bed, only one I could find in my area. Still had to drive like an hour and a half to get it, but it was used as a logging trailer. I mean, they beat this bed up. I mean, it's not rotted. It ain't got a whole lot of rot, but this bed is really beat up. I mean, it's, not to mention it's ugly brown. I mean, it is poop brown. I mean, it's just, but I mean, you can see right there, it's got a good dent here. I mean, this side's wrinkled. If you can look down the side, it's beat up. Header panel on it, it's about the same way. It was all bowed out. I did take a block of wood and a 3-pound hammer to it and pushed it back in because it was wanting to rub the cab. This side, I had already started sanding on just to get rid of it and kind of assess more of the damage of it and how bad it is. It's got some holes in it, not a whole lot of rot. Just, I mean, it's got little stuff that needs to be patched up besides the entire floor, which there isn't one because I cut it all out just to give me room so I can see what I'm doing on making this mount, the bed mount to the truck. And I got one of the cross members out. It's over here. It's right there. The tailgate, I don't think I can save it. I don't know if you can see right there. Just look at that gap down there at the bottom. That should be almost closed. So this tailgate is bowed out really bad. The top of it, look at that. I mean, this bed is just going to take a lot, or the tailgate itself is going to take a lot of work. And I'm almost willing to just spend the $500 for a new tailgate. That's more than I paid for the bed itself, but it would save me a lot. And the bed caps, these are all caved in and dented in down here. I mean, it's just, it's too dark over here, it looks like, but this is all beat up. They had actual trailer lights hooked to it. Excuse me. So they drilled holes all in it, and this side's even worse. I mean, it's metal. I can bend it back out as far as the bed goes. I can get new wheel tubs. The floor, I roll floor because there's a company out there that makes a actual new floor for this truck, and they actually make, all the four corners that are flat metal, and then they make the rib sections of the floor. I can get it the whole entire floor, but it's $1,000 plus shipping. So I can't see myself spending that much money on the bed floor when I gotta cut it. I'm gonna spend $1,000 on a new bed floor, and then I gotta cut it out to clear the frame. I'm just not gonna do it. So I'm gonna get me some flat steel, some new 18 gauge steel, and I guess I'll end up creating some kind of different design for the bed floor, and I'll bead roll it into it and then flange the edges of it, and I'll make the bed floor in sections to make it a little bit easier, so I ain't gotta have any weird complex bends or welds or anything like that, where if I can just make it in about 5 sections, 3 to cover the tunnel in the front and rear section, and then just 90-degree all 4 corners, and then plug weld everything together, and I hope it will turn out great. I mean, I'm buy new wheel tubs, and the 4 corners I can make real easy. That's just flat steel with 90-degree bends all around the edges and plug weld it in. So that'll be easy. But today I want to finish trying to get at least where I can get the bed mounted and actually bolted to the truck. And so I can actually, you know, figure out how to mount my bumpers. I need to order a new front bumper because my other bumper is completely demolished. Not completely, but it's white, rusty, and I want to go with chrome bumper on the front. The rear bumper is pretty weird looking. I'm gonna try to reuse the original rear bumper off the truck. It's one of those dealer weird, it sits under the tailgate and there's no step on the back except for right on the very sides. It's pretty awkward looking and neat at the same time, so I'm hoping that'll look pretty cool once I get it cleaned up and painted white. But yeah, I'm gonna end up, let's see here, I want to probably move these. I may move these up here or just cut me some 2 new ones. Make sure they're flat even here because this is where the bed needs to sit. Maybe needs to be raised up, but I can use shims to get the bed perfectly level. I think it would be cleaner if I sat them up here and stuff. So, and then I don't know, I may do some bracing, but I don't know how far I want to do that without knowing where my bumper brackets are going to have to be made to. Oh, and if you see, right, no, she's not going to focus, is she? No, that's not going to focus. I'll just take you over there. So, right in here, I pie cut the frame. I didn't cut it all the way across, but I cut it here, bent it down because the very ends of the frame rails were sticking way up. They look like they're sticking up now, but I don't have the truck all the way in my garage, so it's angled down on the front already. But the frame rails come up, and actually the end of the frame rails, when they were actually, yeah, I had already cut them down and I set it down on here. These were, this right here was hitting the bed floor, or at least what I got left of it. It was hitting the bed floor and holding the whole back of the bed up. So it had to be pie cut, which dropped the rear frame rail ends. I think they come down 3 or 4 inches total, which made it nice and flat and level, gives me plenty of room under the bed. And but yeah, so I guess what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut these off, or I'm gonna cut some new ones first is what I want to do. So that way, because I already know this is high enough, these are already high enough, so I'm gonna cut these all, cut some, weld some right here, tack them in, and then I'll cut these off, and then I'll finish welding in the rest. Then I just need to clean things up, clean up the welds up front, and on the front part of it, and then I'll get some new paint. We'll get some semi-gloss, make it look good, clean it up. I do need to figure out what I'm gonna do with my fuel tank filler neck. I may order a new aftermarket filler neck, and I think I'm just gonna put the filler neck inside the bed in one of the wheel tub, in the wheel tub on the driver's side, kind of towards the side, and on the inside I'll make some box cover just to protect the filler neck hose. And but yeah, so we'll get started and we'll make some new brackets for this and weld some flat plate on the top and maybe some gussets to help support it so it's a little bit stronger. And yeah, and then we'll get started. Alright, I got some of these new brackets welded on the back, and I've started cutting off the old ones. Got to clean up the middle. Wish this camera would focus a lot better. Let's see here. But yeah, got them welded up. Looking. Man, folks, there we go. That's a little bit better. There it is. Yep. Looks like pretty good weld to me. But yeah, we'll clean up where I had the old ones, and we'll finish putting in a burn all the way around. And I'll clean the tops of them up, make them nice and level. And then I got some plates I want to cut out and make right here for the bed mount to sit on. I'll do some gussets on each side of this so I got room for the bolt and the nut to fit, and then should be good to go, besides cleaning everything up and get it painted and then mounting the bed. Alright, I got that got these old ones off, and the old welds cut up, and I've got the whole area cleaned up, and fixing to finish welding in right through here. If I can get this to focus again. But yeah, I'm ready to weld in through here, and ready to weld through here on this one. On both ends, it's already welded on both sides. Clean the welds up just a little bit, and it's looking pretty good. I see you, little buddy. But yeah, I'm gonna get this camera set back up, and we'll get over here and start welding this up again. Alright, I've got these all cleaned up. Besides my welding residue, because I use a flux core. It does a pretty good job for what it is. Like I said, I mean, it welds really good. So, but it's welded all the way around. Nice and sturdy, ain't going nowhere. Clean the tops up so I can put some plates on. They're gonna come out to the back a little bit. And then I'll make some little triangle gussets and put them right here on the sides. And for strength, so that way when it's bolted to the bed they don't bend. And but yeah, I've got some plate steel over here. I've already got kind of some lines scribed out here. You can't really see it in the camera, but you can see it right through there, and some straight marks. So I can make this so I can have a tab to mount them rear bed mounts. So we'll get to cutting this and get on. the top pieces welded on. They're all welded on nice and straight. Thing looks pretty good. Like I said, I'm gonna weld a little piece that goes straight down from there to there, just to strengthen that up so it doesn't bend down with the weight of the bed. And most of that lip is gonna sit on top of this. Really, it's just there to hold the bed from moving, not holding the weight up, but I'm still gonna put some gussets under it just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And then we'll clean everything up, and I may try to go ahead and just remove the fuel tank and then clean everything up and then paint everything, make it look nice and neat and clean. And I'll finish welding. I gotta weld in that to the frame really good on both sides, clean the welds up on it, and then we'll like I said, we'll get everything cleaned up and painted and make it look pretty. And we'll go ahead and get the bed mounted. I'll cut out something so I can get access to my fuel door, because I gotta figure out something here. Either cut it here and cut it here, and then put a rubber hose on it, and then I'm gonna put a universal filler neck right here on the wheel tub on the back side. And that way my gas cap's inside the bed and you don't have it on the outside. I'm gonna leave the original hole there, and I'm just gonna put I guess you can say a dummy cap, all either JB welded onto the tube or whatever, but it'll look like that's a gas tank, but there won't be nothing there. And but yeah, that's it for today, and I'll catch you guys in the morning, and we'll get the rest of this stuff welded up and possibly get the fuel tank out. And but yeah, I'll catch you guys in the morning. Everybody, it's the next morning. Sporting my Vice Grip Garage shirt that I got. Love that guy. He's awesome. Shout out to you, Derek. But yeah, so it's the next morning. We're gonna finish making up these little gussets for this back of these brackets for the bed. Then we'll start cleaning some stuff up, get some more stuff finished welding. And then probably try to fit this bed back down on here again, try to get it bolted, and that way I can work on getting the bumpers brackets made, and at least so I can get the bumpers and stuff on it, and get the bed mounted, get the tail lights in, because I want to drive this thing, and I'll work on the body while I drive it. I want a rolling project, what I really want. Something I can drive and enjoy, and then work on it as I go. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so I've got everything welded up. Got this side, I think I forgot to hit record, but I've got this all welded up on both sides all around. This ain't going anywhere, it's nice and sturdy. So now I think I'm gonna measure for doing my X bracing right through here, just so I can stiffen up this frame a little bit. So I'm gonna start taking some measurements, and once I get some measurements and some pipe cut, I'll come back and I'll show you guys all that I did. You guys may think it's boring sitting here watching me cut metal. So yeah, as soon as I get it cut up and get something mocked up, I'll bring you guys back. All right, so I've got one piece fabricated and welded in. If you can see here, if you probably get the idea what I'm going for now. See, I've got it ran over there just above the sway bar mount. Ran over here to the back of my cab mount I made. And then I'm gonna make a short one from over here to here, and another one from here to here. And that'll be my X bracing. And that should stiffen up this frame really, really good, because like I said, this is welded. This is a 3" by 3" square tubing down here that I used for my cab mount in the back. And but yeah, getting there. I wanted to get this done before I bolt my bed down for good, or not really for good, but at least to where I can drive it for a while. And then we'll get the other one made. And once I get that done, we'll clean up all these welds. We'll hit all these welded areas in this bare metal with some paint, and try to clean this up a little bit. Set the bed back down on it, mark my holes, drill them, throw some bolts in it, and the bed will be mounted. I'll run my tail light wiring and stuff, and we'll get it to where maybe I can get some lights in the back of it. And we will see about making bumper mounts in the back. I'll have to get that bumper off that other frame and mock it up with the bed on there. And I'll have to order a new front bumper. I don't have one. The one I've got's a little bent more than I want to use. So, but getting the bumper done, or at least getting this stuff done, getting the frame braced up, that should, I mean, it's coming along. It may take a little while. Sorry, it's been a while since I actually put out a video. I'm either sweating or is that dirt on my face? One or the other. Probably dirty, or it could be, I don't know. It's from wearing my welding helmet. Anyways, yeah. Been busy working, put in some overtime at work. Man, yeah, that is dirt. Man, shoo. Gloves are nasty. All right, but yeah, I'll get this other piece made up and we'll get going. All right, so I got the X brace in. Show you guys what I got going on. All right, there's the X brace. Come on. Man, this camera makes me mad. It doesn't want to focus. Come on. There we go. Oh. Let's burn in all sides. So now all I'm going to do now is I am going to, come on, focus. Sorry, people. I don't know why this camera's being a pain in the butt to focus. But pretty sure you can get the idea. Sorry it ain't focusing very well. Probably need to upgrade to a new camera. Man, I'm getting dirty. Look at that. Oh, getting hot in here too. But yeah, so that X braces is done. So now all I gotta do is clean up all these welds. Once I get the welds all cleaned up, so let me turn my autofocus off. Back on. There we go. That's a lot better. But yep, as you can see, the X brace is in. It's welded up on all the sides. Looks pretty good. I think I got it pretty centered. It's right over the drive shaft, the X is. So it ain't gotta be perfect, but said I'm just doing it for support. I ain't making no show truck out of this. I just want it to run and drive great. I don't want any issues with it while I'm driving it. So just wanted to stiffen up this frame a little bit, and so we'll get this cleaned up, hit it with some paint. Then I'll pull it over, put the bed back down on it. After I got to roll one of the inner fenders, or the lips on the fenders, because it's rubbing the tire just a little bit. And we'll get it set on there where I want it. We'll mark the holes, pull it back off, drill all these holes, put it back down and bolt it down. And I got a cut out for the fuel neck, which I already know where I think I want to put it. So, but yeah, let's get these cleaned up. Sorry everybody, it's been a couple of days. Got busy. So let's see, where did I end up at? All right, so I think the last footage I shot, I got the X bracing in the frame. I don't know if it was primered or not, and I didn't film anything of me putting the bed on this truck. Because I test fit it, I got it all in, got the stuff kind of cleaned up, a little bit of paint on it, and test fitted the bed off camera, and it was about a ½ inch too high in the back. So I don't know where I got my measurements messed up at, because I redid those mounts. I wanted them to look a little better and sit on top of that rear frame rail that I made, and somehow I got it off. I don't know how I did, but I got it off, so I had to take it all back off, had to cut that off, take a ½ inch out of those pedestals, welded all back up, and before I test fit the bed again, I ended up painting everything and trying to make it look a little bit better. It ain't perfect, but the bed's gonna have to come off several more times anyways, just to get the body work on it done, to get the underside of it cleaned up and primed and coated and whatever I plan on doing. Sorry about that. I cut out and glitched out on you because my SD card filled up. I didn't pay attention to the clock on the front of it. So, anyways, yeah, I got the bed. As you can see behind me, you can see the old crusty brown bed. It is on the truck now. So, go ahead and show you. I've got the bed's mounted. Like I said, I cut the floor out because it was all beat up, messed up. And everything, but that's the X bracing. It's in all the way across, and it's like I said, I've got it welded to that cab mount that the rear cab mounts are on. Just ran some bolts through where the original holes were on the front and rear back here, and stuff. I got there's a cross member that goes here, kind of like this one. And but I haven't made the brackets for it yet, but that looks pretty simple. Only thing I'm gonna have to do is I can probably come off my X brace and do a small bracket, or maybe even just a crossbar just from there to there. Be plenty to mount that. I'll have to make one back here for this rear one that I had to cut out because this was all beat up anyways, and it was just easier to get it out of the way because it may have had to have come back just a little bit to clear the fuel tank. And so, but I'm not worried about making anything there yet because I still got bumper brackets to make, or not make, but somewhere for the bumper brackets to mount. And then I also got to fit my hitch in here, and because I'm gonna put a hitch on this. And let's see, but yeah, this is the old crusty bed on the truck. And this side's the worst side of the truck, or the bed, because it's got a good crease here. A lot of this I banged out. This whole corner was all rolled in, but I worked on it some to get it out just so it'd look a little bit better. This is beat in. Just like I said, this bed needs a lot of work. Tailgate's probably shot. This side I've already started sanding on because this is the best side of the bed. It's the one with the least amount of damage. I've got my tail lights in it, brand new tail lights with LEDs. I think they look pretty good too. So here, I'll turn them on real quick. Oh yeah. Looks pretty good. Still got to figure out all my turn signal and brake lights because I've only got one brake light, one turn signal. So I'm thinking I've got something messed up in my when I put my new blinker switch in. Doesn't come with a wiring diagram, and the colors aren't the same as the factory ones that I took out. So I took the best guess and it was wrong. So but yeah, so next video is going to be probably me making the bumper brackets for this, getting the front bumper put on, getting the rear bumper put on, and then I'm going to get this seam sealed and fixed. I've got the seam seal here. I've already got everything for that. I had to get my little spot blaster in there and clean that up. And but yeah, that's going to be it for this this video. So thank you guys for watching. If you're new to this, please make sure you subscribe. Really helps out my channel. You hit that notification so that way you get all the new info on this truck when it comes out, when I drop a new video. And but yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace out.
You better